From Kim Kardashian's fur-covered Lamborghini to Chris Brown's color-changing car, let's check out 9 of the most ridiculous cars owned by celebrities. Reality TV queen Kim Kardashian sits on a $1.7 billion network, which came mostly from her 2007 clips with Keeping Up with the Kardashians. After the show ended in 2021, she sank deep into several industries, including beauty, fashion, and even mobile apps. Sadly, even with $1.7 billion lying around, Kim still has a really bad taste in car designs. Meet her Lambo, possibly the most absurd and ridiculous car customization in human history. In fact, if we organized a top 10 list for the most useless car designs, this particular Lamborghini should take first or second place. In 2021, Kim wrapped her $220,000 Lamborghini Urus completely in the same white fur used for her products. What's funny, or furry, is that the design team covered both the inside and outside of this car for a staggering $73,000. So much for making the car undrivable. Skims' design team covered nearly every part of this car with the fabric, including the steering wheel, rims, and the side mirrors. Now, just so you know, the skim fabric is something as soft as a towel. It's not even car material. Believe me, 5 minutes on the road and the fabric will be totally covered in dirt and bird poop. What's worse was that the wrap destroyed the car's whole body, blocking all the vents and almost covering the whole exhaust. It made controls unusable and airbags real dangerous, meaning the car had no use other than for show. You can't even drive it. Lamborghini would have just banned her from buying any more of their cars. Like, come on, why turn a $200,000 piece of engineering into a giant dust magnet? Everybody loves Jojo Siwa. Like, come on, she made the 2020 COVID-19 lockdown kind of fun for us. Her vibe started well and exploded onto the scene in 2016 with her singles and rainbow-colored everything. But when you have $20 million at just 16, no one tells you how to design your car. And yep, her Tesla Model X suffered this ill fate. For her sweet 16, Jojo received this $100,000 electric SUV, which she then proceeded to utterly ruin through West Coast Customs. Funny how it went from being worth 4 times some Toyotas to being worth just half the price of one. The wrap job was just plain stupid. It was plastered with blown-up pictures of her own face in a kaleidoscope pattern. Like, for real, looking at it makes me want to puke. She even had them flip the seats to look like a unicorn violently exploded all over. I really don't know how she doesn't even get sick of it. And it didn't even end there. The wheels were exchanged for chrome wheels with rainbow edges that just destroyed the car's handling. Then they covered the dashboard in glitter resin that overheated in the sun, meaning the car smelt that burning plastic, which was worse during the summer. $30,000 was spent just to make this poor Tesla look super embarrassing. And believe me, even if I'm a fan of Siwa, I can't buy this car from her for $50,000. Before we go on, please give us a like and hit the subscribe button. Also comment on the celebrity's garage you want us to do next. Kanye West is a vibe, a whole crazy vibe on his own. Even though his fame peaked in the early 2000s with albums like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then with his billion-dollar Yeezy empire, he is still one of the biggest celebs of all time. Climbing the money calendar with a $6.6 billion net worth, Ye decided to have one of his cars customized, the Urus. West's Lamborghini Urus would actually be the most disappointing vehicle he owns. Painted in an odd beige cream finish, this $200,000 SUV looks like it was covered with wall paint. Even German taxis have more aura than this junk. The customization was worth more than over $80,000 and was done by an unnamed Los Angeles shop. I really don't want to believe that he went low budget, but it looks like he really did. The whole customization gimmick, whole paint job, whole deal with the car, it was just BS. Then there's Kanye posing for a pic like he just achieved something really crazy. Bro just ruined a gorgeous Lamborghini for Christ's sake. Will.i.am's Mercedes-Benz AMG GT is one car I've got mixed feelings about. On one hand, it looks really futuristic and actually real sick. On the other, kind of BS. If you don't know, Will.i.am was once a Black Eyed Peas frontman before he became a tech mogul, currently boasting a value of over $70 million. He was the voice behind 2000s hit songs like Where Is the Love and I Got a Feeling, and then jumping into TV shows like The Voice UK. His Mercedes-Benz was designed by West Coast Customs, the same shop behind Jojo Siwa's puke Tesla. So how does this car look a bit more stylish than Siwa's ugly ride? Well, to start with, Will.i.am didn't choose any face-over makeover for his car. He's not Siwa. Then, West Coast hacked off 2 doors from this car, added suicide doors like in a Rolls-Royce, and then grafted a G-Wagon front end onto the car's body. The result? A partly gorgeous car and partly Frankenstein-style car. Those oversized monoblock wheels look comically out of place, but they weren't too bad, at least not too terrible. Will.i.am also had them elongate the hood to weird proportions, somehow making the car confused about itself. I can't exactly say if this is how tech bros love their cars designed, but it's kinda weird and stylish at the same time. Long live Aretha Franklin, the queen of soul who was the music goddess for over 6 decades, taking up roughly $80 million and 18 Grammy Awards with her voice alone. Right after she signed with Atlantic Records in 1966, she gave hit after hit, including songs like Respect, Natural Woman, and Think. By the 1980s, Franklin was so huge a star, she decided to own something of a weird Cadillac. In plain words, her pink Cadillac Eldorado was just a fashion disaster on wheels. Forgive me, Franklin. She had dropped $22,000 on the base model before having Detroit's Motor City Customs cover it up with a shade of pink that looked like Pepto-Bismol after a nuclear explosion. The customization, finished off in 1985, included chrome accents so excessive they were almost blinding during the summer. The interior wasn't any better, with pink velour coverings that looked like someone skinned a flamingo. The dashboard even had golden dials that were just horrible with the pink. In fact, the whole modifications spoiled the Eldorado as the car spent more time in repair shops than on roads. I guess we could call it the pink curse of Cadillac. I feel like Justin Bieber was going through a midlife crisis when he asked West Coast Customs to design his Audi R8. Guess the best thing to say to this car will be a line from his hit song, Sorry. In 2013, Bieber drove his R8 to West Coast Customs, wired them $25,000, and left this car with only one command: paint it leopard. Now I want to guess West Coast didn't exactly get the memo, or they got it too well. 'Cause what in heaven's name is this? The car looks like it got dressed in the dark, especially since the tacky wrap just completely ruined the whole point to the German supercar. They even replaced the original chrome finish with a gaudy pattern that made the R8 look like a teenager's first customization class. The most stupid part is that the leopard print doesn't even go with the blue-tinted windows and rims, so it was more of a visual mess than something you'll expect from a big-time celeb like Bieber. Guess he was going for a king of the jungle look after all. Now there's one thing to have your car covered in fur or leopard print, and then there's another to having it covered in gold. Trommer Dillard, who we know as Flo Rida, hit the music industry in 2007 with his hit Low and quickly ran up a $30 million empire. While his music was still fire hot in 2013, his car choices took a nosedive when he chose to paint his Bugatti gold. The rapper turned his $1.7 million Bugatti Veyron into a golden car through Metro Raps of Miami. The once elegant hypercar now looks like a rolling jewelry store, especially with the super shiny chrome gold wrap. The customization was worth around $30,000, which was really cheap because the car wasn't covered in real gold. Despite the flashy look, the car is perfectly drivable, though maintenance costs could probably be enough to buy 2 or 3 Toyota RAV4 Limited every year. Oh, and the gold wrap still protects the original paint, which is perhaps the only sensible part of this customization. Let's do Chris Brown's chameleon car next. Chris Brown came into the music industry in 2005 with Run It, and just became an R&B frenzy. With a net worth around $50 million, his career has been a roller coaster of chart-topping hits and personal issues that just made him lose it. Still, he does own one particular car that creeps onto our list. His Lamborghini Huracan went through a transformation that made it able to change colors under sunlight. Ridblaw applied what they call a symmetrical chrome wrap that shifts between blue, yellow, orange, pink, and purple depending on viewing angle. Brown paid approximately $30,000 for this customization in 2019, and to be honest, it was kind of worth it. The car already had a Liberty Walk wide-body kit and was the very first in the US to have one. Yet somehow Brown wanted a little more. He added illegal-looking purple headlights that were blinding, and yet the law allowed him to drive around with it. The excessive chrome wrap might have added a lot of unnecessary weight to the car, but it was still useful in keeping the old color it had without making the car look ugly. Daniel Hernandez, or 6999, rose to fame in 2017 with his aggressive rap style and rainbow-colored hair. At his peak, he was worth around $10 million, climbing up charts like it was another Tuesday. After legal issues he had in 2018, he tried making a comeback but never reached his earlier success. Currently, it's just his Aventador that speaks for him. Dropping over $200,000 on customizations by Auto Super Shield in Miami, 669 changed his $500,000 Lamborghini Aventador into what looks like a toddler's crayon experiment. The wrap job had an eyesore of neon colors splashed randomly across the body, with graffiti-style 6ix9ine tags plastered everywhere. The customization didn't stop at the paint. He added an oversized rainbow LED underglow that made the car look like a rolling nightclub floor. The interior also suffered too, as it had ugly rainbow stitching and 6ix9ine logos on every single surface. The custom exhaust system was also made unnecessarily loud, setting off car alarms when it passes by. To be honest, 6999 has actually been chaos for a long while. I'm not surprised his Aventador is just like him. If you like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this clip. Also, comment what celebrity car collection you want us to do next. We'll catch you in the next one.